813,80315,93817,268 number of passengers, M. 66.572.175.879.381.790.6,100.013,140.1,348.627.5 passenger load factor, percent, 828382883889394959695971 number of aircraft, 8 year end, 23227294305297308341383431471466451 notes /sources, 116, 116, 116, 117, 117, 118, 119, 120, 120, 120, 121, 122. Head office. Former Ryanair headquarters in Dublin Airport. The head office of Ryanair has been in the Airside Business Park in Swords, County Dublin, Ireland, since 2014. 123. David Daly, a developer, had built the facility before Ryanair's 2012 purchase. 124. The building has 100,000 square feet, 9,300 square meters, of space, 125, and the airliner paid €11 million to occupy the building. According to John Mulligan of Irish Independent, it was thought that Ryanair would refurbish the building for another €9 million. 124. Previously, since 2004, the head office had been on the property of Dublin Airport, in proximity to the Aer Lingus head office. 126. Dolly Investments built the facility in 1992. Ryanair later purchased Dolly and had a 30-year lease of the Ryanair's old logo, used from 2001 to 2013. Ryanair's previous logo was used from November 2013 to July 2015 when a new logo with a white background was introduced. This logo was first revealed in January 2010. Head office facility from the Department of Transport of Ireland. For 12 years, the company paid no rent even though it was supposed to pay €244,000 per year. After 12 years and before 2008, it paid less than half of the €244,000. 124. Criticism. Invoicing. Ryanair clearly states on its website that it doesn't issue invoices since VAT doesn't apply to airfares. This is an apparent paradox to their new law fact that VAT-exempt services should be registered through invoicing when the customer requires or needs so. 127, 128. Attempts at enforcing tax legislation have proven unsuccessful both in Ireland, where each company is headquartered, and through other European fiscal authorities. 129. Employment relations. Refusal to recognize unions. In the early years, when Ryanair had a total of 450 employees who each had shares in the company, there was an agreement that staff would not join a labor union on the basis that they would influence how the company was run. 130. The treatment of employees has changed considerably since then, and new employees no longer get shares in the company. Whilst Ryanair announced in December 2017 that it would recognize pilots' unions, the company still refuses to recognize or negotiate with any union for cabin crew. In 2011, a former Ryanair captain was awarded financial compensation by an employment tribunal in London after being fired for handing out a union form to a cabin crew member while on duty. 131. In 2012, The Ryanair Pilot Group, RPG, was formed, but to date has not been successful in its aim to represent pilots flying for Ryanair as a collective bargaining unit. Thousands of flight cancellations on the 15th of September, 2017 triggered pilots to mobilize, and on the 15th of December, in Italy, Ireland and Portugal, Aliri recognized unions for the first time, blaming their good timing, anticipated an uptick in labor costs in 2018, not altering its model. 132. Ryanair discussed union recognition in response to threatened strikes over the Christmas period. 133. Employment conditions. Ryanair faced criticism for allegedly forcing pilots to pay tens of thousands of euros for training, then establishing limited companies in Ireland to have the pilots work for Ryanair through an agency. 20, as well as forcing ground staff in Spain to open bank accounts in Gibraltar in which to receive their wages. 134. In May 2014, Ryanair's office in Marseille was raided by French police investigating complaints that the company was failing to follow French employment law. Ryanair protested about the raid. 135. In May 2015, the mayor of Copenhagen announced a boycott of Ryanair. This came in the wake of protests from Danish unions regarding employment conditions. 21. After a court trial confirmed the union's right to strike, Ryanair moved its bases out of Denmark. 136. On the 10th of August, 2018, pilots of Ryanair in Germany, Sweden, Ireland, Belgium and the Netherlands walked out for 24 hours, leaving 400 flights cancelled. 22. It is considered to be one of the biggest strikes over pay issues. On the 26th of September, 2018, Ryanair was forced to cancel 150 flights scheduled for that day, accounting for roughly 6% of its total flights, due to strikes in Spain, Belgium, the Netherlands, Portugal, Italy, and Germany. The British Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, urged the company to compensate the 2,400 affected passengers under EU Regulation 261, but Ryanair stated that it would refuse to accept any claims for compensation. 137. In December 2018, the Civil Aviation Authority announced that it would be taking legal action against Ryanair over its refusal to compensate thousands of UK-based customers. 138. In April 2021, the High Court rejected Ryanair's claim that it was exempt from awarding compensation because the disruption was due to extraordinary circumstances. The ruling was upheld by the Court of Appeal in February 2022. The Ryanair may still appeal to the Supreme Court. 139. Ancillary revenue and in-flight service. 20% of Ryanair's revenue is generated from ancillary revenue, that is, income from sources other than ticket fares. In 2009, ancillary revenue was at €598 million, compared to total revenue of €2,942 million. 140. Ryanair has been described by the consumer magazine Holiday Witch as being the worst offender for charging for optional extras. 23. As part of the low-cost business model, the airline charges fees, which can be related to alternative services such as using airport check-in facilities instead of the online service fee and paying by credit card. It also charges for extra services like checked-in luggage, and it offers food and drinks for purchase as part of a buy-on-board program. 141. In 2009, Ryanair abolished airport check-in and replaced it with a fast bag drop for those passengers checking in bags. 142. the option of checking in at the airport for €10 has been discontinued, and all passengers are required to check in online and print their boarding pass. Passengers arriving at the airport without a pre-printed online check-in will have to pay €55/£45 for their boarding pass to be reissued, whilst customers unable to check in luggage online are asked to pay a fee which varies depending on where they are traveling to at the airport, as of June 2012. Ryanair faced criticism over the ambiguous nature of these changes. 143.24 No frills. New Ryanair aircraft have been delivered with non-reclining seats, no seat back pockets, safety cards stuck on the back of the seats, and life jackets stowed overhead rather than under the seat. This allows the airline to save on aircraft costs and enables faster cleaning and security checks during short turnaround times. 144 Ryanair reportedly wanted to order its aircraft without window shades. 144 But the new aircraft do have them, as it is required by the regulations of the Irish Aviation Authority. Other proposed measures to reduce frills further have included eliminating 2 toilets to add 6 more seats. 145 Redesigning the aircraft to allow standing passengers traveling in vertical seats, charging passengers for using the toilet. 146 Charging extra for overweight passengers. 147 and asking passengers to carry their checked-in luggage to the aircraft. 148 While CEO Michael O'Leary initially claimed that charging passengers for toilets was going to happen, he stated days later that it was technically impossible and legally difficult but made for interesting and very cheap PR. 28 Customer service. Ryanair has been criticized for many aspects of its customer service. The Economist wrote that Ryanair's cavalier treatment of passengers had given Ryanair a deserved reputation for nastiness and that the airline has become a byword for appalling customer service and jeering rudeness towards anyone or anything that gets in its way. 149 In January 2019, a survey conducted by which found that the airline was the UK's least liked short-haul airline for the 6th year running. 26 Ryanair responded by saying that passenger numbers had risen 80% in the previous 6 years, and this was a more accurate reflection of the airline's popularity than an unrepresentative survey of just 8,000 people. 150 In August 2019, Ryanair came bottom in an annual which survey rating the customer services of 100 popular UK brands. 151 In 2002, the High Court of Ireland in Dublin awarded Jane O'Keefe €67,500 damages and her costs after Ryanair reneged on a free travel prize she was awarded for being the airline's 1 millionth passenger. 152 153 The airline has come under heavy criticism for its poor treatment of disabled passengers. In 2002, it refused to provide wheelchairs for disabled passengers at London's Stansted Airport, greatly angering disabled rights groups. 154 The airline argued that this provision was the responsibility of the airport authority, stating that wheelchairs were provided by 80 of the 84 Ryanair destination airports. 155 At that time, a court ruling in 2004 judged that the responsibility should be shared by the airline and the airport owners. Winking sad smiley. 156 Ryanair responded bidding a surcharge of 50 pence to all its flight prices. 157 In July 2012, a 69-year-old woman, Frances Duff, her colostomy, was refused permission to bring her medical kit on board, despite having a letter from her doctor explaining the need for her to carry this with her, and was asked by Ryanair boarding staff to lift her shirt in front of fellow passengers. to prove that she had a colostomy bag. Duff had previously attempted to contact Ryanair on 3 occasions to inquire about its policy regarding travelers' colostomy bags, but each time no one answered the phone after half an hour. 158. On the 4th of April, 2011, Ryanair began adding a surcharge of €2 to its flights to cover the costs arising from compliance with EC Regulation 261/2004, which requires it to pay for meals and accommodation for passengers on delayed and cancelled flights. 159. Ryanair did not offer customers the possibility of contacting it by email or web form, only through a premium rate phone line, by fax or by post. However, it does now have a web form contact option. An early day motion in the British Parliament put forward in 2006 criticised Ryanair for this reason and called on the company to provide customers with a means to contact the company by email. 160. Ryanair offers a basic rate telephone number for post-booking enquiries in the United Kingdom, which chose to omit the exemption for passenger transport services when enacting Article 21 of Directive 2011/83/EU on consumer rights under Regulation 41 of the Consumer Contracts, Information, Cancellation, and Additional Payments, Regulations 2013.161, Improved Customer Service and Attracting Families. On the 17th of June, 2014, Ryanair announced a new campaign to reinvent itself as a more family-friendly airline. Speaking at the company's 2014 AGM, Chief Executive Michael O'Leary said that the airline needed to stop unnecessarily pissing people off. Ryanair said up to 20% of its 81 million customers were traveling as families and it wanted to raise that figure. Kenny Jacobs, Ryanair's chief marketing officer, said, "Families are a big deal for us. It's a group of customers that we want to get closer to. 162. As another step, the company launched live chat on its website to improve the quality of service and experience provided by the company. 163. This change in their approach had an almost immediate positive effect on the company's finances. 164. Flight cancellations in September and October 2017. Ryanair was subject to widespread criticism. 165, 166, 167, 168, 169, after it announced that it would be cancelling between 40 and 50 flights per day, about 2% of total daily flights, during September and October 2017. Flights were cancelled with very little notice, sometimes only hours before departure. Ryanair said that the cancellation aimed to improve its system-wide punctuality, 170, which had dropped significantly in the first 2 weeks of September, which the airline attributed to ATC capacity delays and strikes, weather disruptions and the impact of increased holiday allocations to pilots and cabin crew. 170. In subsequent statements, Ryanair acknowledged that it had messed up holiday schedules for pilots, including a change to the calendar year for how vacations were calculated. 171. In late December, a survey rated Ryanair and Vueling equally the worst in the world for customer service among short-haul carriers in the which survey. Ryanair responded, his survey of 9,000 which members is unrepresentative and worthless, during a year when Ryanair is the world's largest international airline, 129 customers, and is also the world's fastest growing airline, up to 9 customers in 2017. We have apologized for deeply regretted flight cancellations and winter schedule changes, and the disruption they caused to less than 1% of our customers. 172. Language test. In June 2022, Ryanair faced severe anger and backlash for making South Africans take a general knowledge test in the Afrikaans language before allowing them to board UK-bound flights, as a means to verify that their passports were genuine.